What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. You know, I was thinking about this before I started recording this video. Welcome back again, everybody, to the channel. The 2024 bodybuilding season was a pretty insane season when you think about it. Nick Walker beating Martin Fitzwater at the New York Pro, then Nick dropping out of the Olympia for the second time in a row, and Martin going on to win 4th place. You know, absolutely crazy. Andrew Jack taking his 3rd Texas Pro title. Samson Dowda taking his 1st Olympia title. Derek Lunsford dropping to 3rd place. You guys, we are going to have to do a wrap-up video for the 2024 season. But it is time to look forward to 2025. And that's what I'm going to do in this video. We've got a few updates here for you guys. I'm going to start off today with an update from Tonio Burton. Tonio taking 8th place at the 2023 Olympia, then taking some time off in 2024 in order for him to make the necessary improvements to do even better than his 8th place finish. Sitting here at about 250 pounds, Tonio says he feels very comfortable at this 250 pounds. Now, Tonio is actually making his way back up to the 260s. He actually ended up in a motorcycle accident, and the guy's lucky that he's not dead, to be completely honest. If you guys saw the pictures on his Instagram, oh man. Well, I've since talked to Tonio though, and he is definitely back at 100%. And for what we're looking at here, you know, I think for improvements, the arms have come up in size. I think his chest has come up a little bit as well. The midsection still looks good, still looks tight. Those quads definitely still flaring. I mean, you can still see some pretty decent definition in the quads, you guys. So for off-season shape, Tonio is doing fantastic. And I do think that improvements have been made here. Now, the question is, has Tonio put on enough size to be competitive enough to defeat his 8th place finish from 2023? And, you know, I do think, like I said, progress has been made, but I think it's hard to say until he really takes that stage again. You know, the playing field, again, has changed since 2023 as well. Just consider the 8th place finisher at the 2024 Mr. Olympia. Tonio's rival at this point, I think it's safe to say, Rafael Brandao. If you guys remember the Arnold Classic Brazil, a controversial win for Rafael Brandao in the eyes of many competitors and fans alike. You guys should check that out if you haven't seen it. But regardless of that, can Tonio defeat the 8th place version of Rafael Brandao from 2024 at this point? Rafael definitely making some improvements of his own. And like I said, I do think it's difficult to say, but I do think that Tonio has made his own set of improvements. So until he really takes the stage, we cannot say for sure. One area that I think will continue to be a very strong point for Tonio will be the back shots. Very, very aesthetic flow in those back shots, and that is being heavily rewarded in this day and age of open bodybuilding. Absolutely ridiculous width from the back as well. Something that I think he's actually brought up is a little bit of his width. So again, improvements have been made. More size definitely won't hurt, but I do think that we'll see Tonio back on the Olympia stage, and I do think that he can at least make it back to that 8th place spot. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below about that. Have we seen enough of a gain in size from Tonio Burton for him to continue to do well in the men's open? You guys let me know what you think. All right, guys, now we got to talk about Sam Sulek here. And full disclosure, for those of you that have been following my channel for quite some time, it was back in June that I actually said that Sam Sulek is not someone that I was going to be speaking about on a regular basis here. Sam Sulek is not a bodybuilding competitor. He is a fitness influencer. And in general, I don't really get into the fitness influencer side of really bodybuilding coverage. But in this case, Sam has actually made an announcement that he is 10 weeks out from his first competition. And of course, him training here with the legend Jay Cutler, getting some posing tips. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that. We gotta talk about this, you guys. So being at 10 weeks out here, getting some posing tips, like I said, from Jay Cutler. I actually think that Sam is in pretty decent shape for 10 weeks out. But even Jay said that he does have some work to do, you know. Jay gave him some tips such as, you know, training abs on a more regular basis, some general posing tips, you know, things like posing more often, 3 rounds of posing every day, 10-second hold for each pose. And look, if you're going to take tips from anybody when it comes to posing, you're going to be talking to Jay Cutler. 4-time Mr. Olympia, you guys. It does not get better than that. Sam has so many resources going into his first competition. And might I add, I think that the competition that Sam does, I'm assuming that it goes, regional qualifier, then national qualifier, IFBB Pro card. I would say that this regional show will probably be one of the most heavily attended regional shows that we've seen in quite some time. But anyway, Sam, I think here does have some very strong points. His back, I think, is something where he will do very, very well. He's got a good midsection. There's no legs in this actual video, but Sam does have good legs as well. He trains his legs often. He trains his legs heavy. Sam does not shy away from the hard training, but it is very concentrated training that Sam does do. And this is all on the road of Sam eventually wanting to win his IFBB Pro card, which he actually did mention.
Are you signing the wall? I don't know. It looks like these are all IFBB Pros. Maybe we'll save it for later, optimistically.
So you can see the intent there for Sam Sulek is to get his IFBB Pro card. And you guys, this guy's sitting at 22 or 23 years old. He has plenty of time to get there. And he actually has said that on many occasions, that there's no rush. And I think that's the very smart way to go here for Sam Sulek. There are still a lot of questions surrounding Sam, and I don't know if anyone is actually helping him in terms of a coach. He does have a lot of contacts, like I said, at this point, so he probably has his pick of who he wants to work with. But being such a young guy, I think that we could see a shift from Sam Sulek, the influencer, the everyday gym bro that we've all really come to know, to Sam Sulek, the bodybuilding competitor. His attitude and perspectives, I think, are bound to change after going through this process. Whether all of that will serve him well in terms of how well he comes in on stage, well, we'll find out here in about 10 weeks. So you guys let me know if you think that Sam Sulek does have what it takes to win his IFBB Pro card someday. Pretty safe to say that he's going to win that regional show, but let me know how you guys think this guy would do when it comes to a national bodybuilding competition.
My next competition has become clear. It will become the Arnold Classic. So we're gonna do the Arnold Classic in Ohio again. It is going to be me defending my title because I, of course, am still the Arnold Classic champ.
He most certainly is. Wesley Vissers announces his next show. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see Wesley attempt to defend his Arnold Classic title. And actually, he announced that he's going to be doing the Arnold Classic Ohio. I don't know about the UK. He actually won both of these shows when it comes to 2024. And Wesley talks about how he stayed in relatively good contest shape post-Olympia in anticipation of doing this Arnold Classic, which really is not surprising. I mean, Wesley is the embodiment of classic bodybuilding. I fully expected him to go and compete again at the Arnold Classic. Some of the areas that Wesley is really concentrating on improving are definitely the legs. He spoke about it in this video. I'll link the entire video in the description for you guys so you can check it out here. Really, really good training insight from Wesley Vissers. I encourage all of you guys to go and check it out. But he does talk about wanting to bring up his hamstrings in particular. The legs in general, definitely, he's aware they need to come up, but he does talk about the hamstrings. And he actually has a little bit of an interesting training split. While he's doing chest, he actually adds in side delts, and I believe he said front delts as well. The rear delts he adds in with back, he just feels like he gets a lot more out of that. And I mean, if you're going to talk to anybody about upper body in classic physique, it is most definitely Wesley Vissers. As for, do I think Wesley can win the Arnold Classic again? I absolutely do, and I fully expect him to. Even though he did fall to 8th place at the Olympia this year after winning 2 Arnold Classic titles, which was very surprising, I think, for the entirety of the bodybuilding world, it was probably one of, you guys, it's probably the one call that nobody would have made going into the 2024 Olympia. Wesley Vissers falling to 8th place after winning 2 Arnold Classic titles? Man, I don't even know if that's happened in the history of bodybuilding in any division for an Arnold Classic champion. But there has always been this speculation, and I think that there is some truth to it, to the fact that the Arnold Classic is judged just a little bit differently than the Olympia. And that would make sense because Wesley, of course, like I said, taking 2 Arnold Classic titles and then falling to 8th place at the Olympia, even though admittedly I do think that he was off at the Olympia, I think Wesley still has plenty of room to improve those legs. He does have the room in his weight cap, and I do think that he learned from that 8th place finish at the 2024 Olympia. Stefan Kinzel, boss of Outlaw, still coaching Wesley Vissers. In fact, he is traveling to a training camp with Stefan here coming up in the very near future, which I think is going to be very beneficial for his Arnold Classic prep. I do not think that they will make those same mistakes again, and I do expect Wesley to be improved come the Arnold Classics. But let me know what you think about Wesley Vissers going into the 2025 season. Do you think that Wesley will win the Arnold Classic title again? Will he successfully defend his Arnold Classic title? And will Wesley actually make it into the top 3 where he was anticipated to be at the 2025 Olympia? You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments below, but I'm going to wrap up the video for you guys right here. Make sure to check out the latest episode of the Bodybuilding Breakdown with Lee Priest, Mark's Max Muscle, and Xavier Wills from Desktop Bodybuilding. I'm going to leave that right here for you guys. I'll leave a link. Appreciate everybody tuning in. As always, stay tuned. 2025 is just around the corner, and there is so much to talk about going into this 2025 season, you guys. I cannot wait. Stay tuned for it. It is going to be one wild ride. So I'm going to wrap it up right here. Again, thank you guys for tuning into EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.